Good morning.
You are watching Melody Lane. With me, you're gonna have a great crafting time.
Hello, good morning. So today we're going to do the class that I did at the Mountain Make-A-Thon. And I had the physical card at the class. And when I was finished with the class, I put the card in my computer bag, my gray shoulder bag from Cricut, and I put it in the front pocket. And I knew it's been there this whole time. And this morning I went to get it and it's not there. So I don't have a physical card to show you. So I'll probably make it again. So maybe I can show you next week. So I'm really sorry I don't have the physical card to show you, but it is the card that is in, not there. Oh, I don't even have design space ready. Oh my gosh, I knew I've been forgetting something.
You are watching
Not this,
Melody
but
Lane.
Go away. Okay, sorry. So it's this card that you see to the right. It says thank you. When the card is closed, you see the inside parts of the flower cut out. And then when you open it, you see the complete flower. Sheila, I may ask her to sing me a song for my intro because that song that the woman from Australia, Sharon Richardson, sang for me was amazing. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. I don't even have a design space link open. It's been 2 weeks since I've had a class. So let me get that. I thought that in my head today that I need that class, or I need to set that up, and I just never did. I got caught up in the chat and answering emails. So now I'm looking for the card. Okay, here's the card. Let me bring it over here. I'm gonna have to resize this, I think. All right, sorry guys. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody who comes before the video and everybody who comes to the video itself. You guys are amazing. You really brighten my day. Thank you everyone in the chat. You're just amazing. Okay. I felt so prepared until this moment. Okay, here we go. Whoops, I can't make it that big because this is not over here. We need to see all the buttons, don't you agree? There we go. All right, thanks guys. You guys are amazing. And for those of you that don't know, I do this live every Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, unless I am driving across the country. But, you know, I'm back now. So let's go to Design Space. So this is the file. Let me get rid of all these lines. This is the front of the card. This is the inside of the card. So when you get this, this is the top. So you'll flip the card over and put this on the inside. So today we're going to be learning a whole lot. I even made this a score line. Thank you, Cricut, for the classroom. I made this into a score line here so we know where to place it. So when you do have this on top of the card, it looks like that and it's in the actually correct place, okay? Because we need that in the right place. Otherwise, it won't turn out correctly at all. Okay, let me see. I'm going to move this all down. Now, in my class that I taught at the Cricut Make-A-Thon, we did everything where you were following me. They were following me exactly as I did it. I did a step and they did a step. Some steps I had to repeat. Some steps I had to explain again. With this video, we're not going to be following along live. And I say that, I mean, you can try, but I may go a little faster. Because this is a video, you can repeat, you can stop the video, you can pause the video and then do the step yourself. Or if you need it repeated, you can rewind the video. Of course, in my class, you can't rewind me live, although I did repeat. So that takes more time. So we want to do this as not as quickly as possible, but just so everybody can work at their own pace. So if you're watching live, thanks for being here. I love chatting with you live. If you're watching the replay, feel free to stop and follow along with me and pause it when you need to. And I try to answer any questions. I'm going to try to do this class without answering the questions during the class, and we'll answer them afterwards. You can ask the questions in the chat, put them in all caps. I will try to find the questions, or maybe somebody else can answer that question for you as we're going along, because you guys are awesome with helping other people. Is there a link to a card? That is a great question. Here, I'll put a link to the card. There's a link to the card. But I really want you to learn how to create the card. So, and you can use your own writing. You don't have to write exactly this card. I want you to learn. We're going to learn slice, weld, attach, arrange, align, color sync, and so many other things. I think everything except for print and flatten, because flatten is print. Thank you, Catherine, and welcome to all of the new people on my channel who may have been at the class and didn't even know I did YouTube and do these live classes. Okay, let's get started. Usually I'm more prepared. Okay, I have your comments where I can see them. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm out 50%. Let's go back. Let's move those things out of the way to 100%. And I'm just going to scroll down. So if I scroll down, I can see those there. But right now I don't need to. So we are going to add a box. We're going to add a square and a score line and another square. We're going to move one square over. Score line is right here. We are going to make this, the width, 8.5, and the height, 5.5. Now this is an average, I'm going to zoom out. This is so big. I have my design space bigger than normal so you can see it better in the video. The rose pattern is an access image, but I think it's available for everybody. Excuse me. You don't have to use that one. Okay, does anyone see what I did wrong here? It's still a square. I forgot to unlock this, so unlock that. Put the width back to 8.5. If you hear snoring, it is my dogs. Okay, we're going to change the color of this. I'm going to change it to this color. We're going to place this. It doesn't really matter where we place it. I'm going to size it to the correct size. I usually just drag it, but you could totally come here and do 5.5. So it's perfectly even with this. We're going to drag a box around both of them. I'm hitting my left mouse button, just dragging a box. As long as it touches the two images, the box and the score line, we're good. And we can see over in the right, they're both selected. One of the problems that a lot of people have when designing or trying to do things, they think they're selected, but they're not all selected. The width is 8.5. Always check in the layers panel, because by looking at this square here, we don't know the score line is actually selected. The box is selected, but you don't know this is actually selected unless you look at the layers panel. So we're going to go to align, and we're just going to hit center. And that's going to put this on the center. You do not need to relock it after you unlock it unless you plan on moving this button here. There's no need to relock it unless you're afraid you may change the proportions again. Mine's, oh, see, it's unlocked. It's unlocked. There's no need to lock it. Okay, and then this piece, we're going to unlock it. And what I usually do is this. I usually just wing it and put it where I like it so it fits. This one I made 4 inches by 5.25. So you can make this 4 if you like exact measurements and not winging it. And I like to change this to white. This will be the inside piece. Yeah, the height is 5.5 and the width is 8.4. So now we need to find the images. We need to find this flower. So we're going to click on images. That flower is in Bohemian. Let me go back. It's in Bohemian Wedding, but I want to show you. You don't have this flower on your canvas yet, but I want to show you this. You can click here and it'll take you right to that flower. So if you're looking for this flower, it's hashtag MC873D6. So you have to insert, you have to type in that hashtag. Or, where'd it go? You can also find an image by the cartridge. So you can view cartridge and it will show you the entire image. But let's pretend you don't have it on your canvas. Uh-oh, it's going to take me right there. Okay, go back to images. Okay, so this is what happens when you click on images. If you want to find that and you're not sure what that hashtag number was because you can't remember it, but you may remember that it's from the Bohemian Wedding. So I'm going to click on cartridges because that's the image sets. Even if it's not a physical cartridge, it's an image set. So I am going to look for the cartridge Bohemian Wedding. I don't know how to spell Bohemian off the top of my head, so I'm just typing wedding. There it is, the first one. So we're going to view all the images and we're going to search for the flower. It's not this flower, not this flower. Let me show you what to look for. It's not even this flower. It does not, I do want to make these flowers. These are kind of pop-up flowers. These red lines are score lines, and then you can fold those pieces up. Even though this is a wedding cartridge, you do not have to use it for a wedding. Look at how awesome it is. Okay, so you could use this flower. You could use this flower. I'm using this flower. So that brings it over here. The reason you can use this flower and those other two I showed you is because of the way the layers are. So I'm only doing this to show you. You do not need to do this. I'm ungrouping it. So I'm showing you the different parts of this flower, and I will be undoing this to make it go back exactly. So we are not going to use this flower and slice through that top piece, because what will happen is it will cut out this outside line here. So that is not what we want to do. We don't want to slice it through this way because it'll cut out the exact same line. Let's go back, and for those of you that just joined us, this is the image we need to cut out. Notice there is not an outside line to this image. So how did we get that? Okay, let's go back. That's the card we're doing. We're going to undo and get that flower back the way it was. Okay, so here it was. Oh, no. It's not grouped. Is it grouped now? Yes, it's grouped back. First thing we need to do is size it. So you can make it any size you want it on the card. I'm putting it up at the top, not in the middle. Although you could put it anywhere you want, but I'm going to have the word thank you down here. So I want to have enough room for that. So we have this, the size we want it, so we need to duplicate it. You can duplicate it twice if you want. You're going to be using it twice, so either duplicate it now twice or duplicate it later. And I'm going to click up here on the eye of this flower and hide. I'm going to click up on the eye of this flower and hide. We only need one flower visible right now so we don't get confused. Okay, so we're going to take this flower, and it doesn't matter if we have it in the correct spot. It doesn't matter where it is on the mat. We have the flower selected. We're going to click slice. Okay, it looks the same, right? So many people have trouble with slice. Some people don't pull them apart. So that's the same. That's the exact same image as that. And then we have this image. This one is what we're going to put over here to slice through this. Sorry, I'm going to mute my computer. So we're going to place this where we want it. You know what? If we want it in the exact center, I'm going to kind of eye that piece. I'm going to select the flower, hit the Command key or Shift key, click the white piece, and align. And I'm going to do center horizontally. The reason I did that is because I want it centered this way. I don't want it centered from top to bottom. Thank you, Deborah. So now I have both of these selected, but I don't want these selected. We're going to move this white piece out of the way. Now, the score line is here. We did not attach the score line. If you did attach a score line, detach it right now. So we're going to draw a box around the card, or not around it, just touching it. And it doesn't have to be around the whole flower, just touching it. Now it looks like the score line may be attached and the flower and this, but it's not. If you look in the layers panel, you only see those things attached. Now down there is where we get to the other card. So we are going to click slice. So this will slice through the top of the card. Okay, so now we're done slicing or welding or anything on this card, so we can go ahead and attach the score line. the score line went to the back. So we're going to click Arrange, Move to Back. We got the score line up front. We're just going to select those, the card and the score line, and we're going to attach. So we're good on this part of the card right now until we get to the words. Does anyone have any questions so far? The CO4 is asking how to donate. You can become a channel member, and that's $4.99 a month, or you can just do the super chat like Deborah did, and you could click the, I think it's the $sign button, or you can donate on Patreon. Oh yeah, this would be good to do with wood or chipboard or something. You could make something like this. Okay, I'm looking for some questions. Okay, I don't see any right now. Oh, Kathy, that's a great question. I did not want the score line attached before because I wanted to slice. If the score line was attached, you would not be able to slice. Let's try to slice again. So we're going to take this image, move it to the front so we can see it. And let's select just the card and the flower. Slice is not lit up because we have 3 layers here. See how there's 3? Because the score line is attached. Thank you, Sandra. All right, so we do not need these anymore. We can go ahead and delete those. Sometimes I think I might need them later, so I'll just hide them, but I already have the card completely done. And I'm going to move this to the front just for fun. So you could also use this here if you want it on the front of the card. That's just an option you can do. I'm not going to be using it, but I do need to bring this flower back. Okay, now this was one that we duplicated. So it's the exact same size, the exact same flower, same color and everything. And we're going to ungroup. We're going to delete this top layer because we're only using this bottom layer. Now, if you did not duplicate this flower twice, you want to duplicate it again. So we're going to delete that. Now, I need to put this in the exact spot so it fits right behind the front of this card. Thank you, C. Welcome to membership of my channel. You can now use my special emojis, and you're welcome to join my Patreon video, which is coming up right after this video, and you get all my Cricut Design Space files. You just go to the community on my YouTube channel. Okay, let's get back to this. So I'm going to place this right there, I think. Or actually, let's put this to the back. I'm looking at this, and it's like right in the middle here. I clicked on the whole big base, the pink base. I'm going to move that to the front so I can see the flower. And then I'm going to put this nowhere. Okay, I forgot. Let's change this. When you click on the circle, you have the option to change the color, change this. It's already uncut because it has this line. You can change it to write, score, or print. We are going to change it to score. And I'm going to change it to the front so I can see it. And we're going to put it right around that flower. And now I'm going to undo this all. And I said I wasn't going to redo everything, but I am. I'm going to make sure you all understand this part. Okay. So we're using this to measure to where to put the card inside, where to put this inside the card. It has to be in the exact spot you want it in. So when you close the card, this part of the card will be, here's the flower I did, will be covering the pieces, but I rotated it so it's not exact. So this has to be in the correct spot. So I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to get that. I'm looking at the line on the outside and seeing if it's kind of even around the edge here. Okay. And then I'm going to take this, change this to a score line, then move this around the edge of the flower. It won't be touching the flower like this. It'll be around the edge. Thank you, Mickey Morris. Okay, so now we have this perfect. We placed that white piece underneath where we know it was like right where it should be. We have the score line here around the edge of this flower. Now we're going to click off somewhere else so we don't have that score line selected, and we're going to click on just the base of the card. We're not drawing a box around anything because it will drag more than the card. So we have the score line and the card only. There's nothing else selected. We are going to move that away. Okay, without touching this part. Move that away. Now you can drag a box around those, and we have those selected, the score line and that square selected, and we're going to click attach. So now the score line is attached to this image. Okay, and let's bring back that other flower. Let's arrange it to the front. So when we cut this out, this flower will be like this, maybe a different color. And you're going to glue it together. You're going to glue that layer on top of that layer. And your machine is going to cut out this white square, and it's going to score this line. It does not have to be a perfect score line. If you cannot see your score lines, you can change this part to write if you want it to write. So it'll put a line there and you know where to place this. So the reason for this whole part is so you know where to place this. So when you have the card closed, let's bring that to the front. The card looks like that. And then they open it up and this has holes, and then you have the full card. Are there any questions so far before we move on to the text? You guys are just having a good old time. And this is just a reminder that we are doing a secret Patreon hangout after there's at 12:15. And the YouTube members can come and watch the video also. And while I'm waiting for any questions of what we've done so far, let's do this. If I can find this, where's it at? Here it is. Here's a shout out to a few of the people who support this channel on Patreon. That awesome guy Ron, Mary Jane, Sonia, Patricia, Chris, Christine, Susan, Beth, Erica, Kim, Tina, Catherine, Deborah, Tony, Jean, Treva, Wendy, Esty, Meta, Terry, Joyce, Josephine, Christy, Millie, Wendy, Mickey, Eva, Michelle, Jean Ann, Ashley, Jen, Heather, Gina, Sandy, Carrie, Kim, Iris, Lois, Lisa, Bridgetta, Diana, Patricia, Angela, Teresa, Jeannie, Pam, and Marion. Thanks, guys. And thanks to all my co-sponsors. Okay, let's go back to Design Space. I didn't see any questions. Oh, thank you, Jamie, for doing the Chacachour link. I forgot to change the links. They've updated their website, and so now I need to change my links in the videos. Okay, so now let's get the text. So we're going to have thank you, and then this one is going to say, I'm grateful for your friendship. So we're going to add text. And I'm going to do thank you. I hit thank, and then I'm doing you. Or I hit thank, I typed thank, hit enter, then did you. So here's my words. I'm going to go up here, and I use the Cricut font Babette. So I am just going to search Babette. So there it is. Of course, you can search, you can do any one you like. I'm going to click letter spacing to move these closer together. Now, how many of you do not know what Weld is? How many of you do not know how to use Weld? I want to separate these by line so the words are separated so I can move them together where I want them. Denise, I don't know what fonts I like. I just remember doing this card and remembering what it is. So I'm going to click Advanced, and I'm going to ungroup to lines. So now these are separate lines. And I'm going to ungroup this just because I want this K just a little closer. And I'm going to group them. Well, I'm not going to group. There's no reason to. I'm going to weld. So there's that word. And I think I want these just a little further apart. I'm going to weld these. Make sure they're all selected and weld. If you notice, let's undo that. See how the YOU are separated? Because I ungrouped them, each letter is a layer. Each letter has its own layers. We could change the color of just one of the letters if we wanted, but we don't want to do that. We want to weld them. Notice what happens after I click weld. They all go to one layer. It's one image. But now I'm going to bring this up. I want this to touch. I'm going to be cutting this out of paper. The reason I want it to touch is because these two, I want to make one solid piece of paper. I don't want to cut letters out. I don't want to cut the separate words out. I want it to be one single piece of paper. So I'm going to click weld. So this will be put over here. We're done with the front. Okay, let's do the inside. And how this is going to be the inside is after it's all cut out and written and scored and everything, we're going to glue this piece of paper on the inside of the card. And it says, I am grateful for our friendship. So let's click type. I am, how did I do that here? Of course, you don't have to do exactly. I'm going to hit enter. Hit enter. Don't spell it wrong. This is not the font I want. I'm going to check this font. This font is yours truly. Since I'm trying to remake the same card, I'm going to try to go in here. And I'm just going to type in yours truly. Now, yours truly is only a writing font. Oh, but it is. Maybe it's not. We need to do writing. Thank you, Janet. It's not only a writing font, but it's a very thin font to cut. So I just chose this up here and chose writing. If you want to search through fonts and you only want writing fonts, you can use this filter and it will only show you fonts that have a writing style. You may not see the writing right here, but it does have a writing style. There are tons of fonts with writing style. They just added a whole bunch of them to Access. Okay, so I also want this centered. So I'm going to go to Alignment and Center. I want the letters closer together. So I'm going to click Letter Spacing. Some of them are too close. I'm going to have to go and do each one. Line spacing. I forgot what the line spacing was. For my class, I knew exactly what it was. I'm going to turn off this grid. I think. No. Thank you for joining, Lori Camper. There we go. So we can see this better without all those lines. Okay, I am going to ungroup this. Because I want to put these letters, I'm going to make it a little bigger. Exactly where I want them. That looks good. And some people are in such a hurry and they hate doing this. I love doing this. I find it relaxing. I think it's fun. It really doesn't take much time. That's okay. I'm going to scoot these over just because that looks almost like one word. I will align these better later, like the actual words. So I'm just lining up the letters and I'm doing this live, no editing. You can see it's really not taking that long. And this is a lot of letters. Okay, move this out of the way. So I'm going to group. Oh, now I'm moving one. Gotta move them all. Okay, now I'm just going to drag each word and group the words. Actually, these I'm going to drag the line. And I'm going to move this over this way. Drag this line. Okay, so now I have all those grouped. I am going to grab each one of these groups and move. Whoops. Okay, let's just group them together. When I hit, what I'm doing when I'm messing up like this, I'm holding down my mouse button, and that's not what I want to do. I just want to click it so it's selected, and then drag it over. And I'm just doing things too fast with my fingers. Okay, so now we need to make it smaller so it fits on the card. Okay, so now we want this to write out on the card. So I'm going to select the card, and I'm going to change this to green. So I made the canvas color green, just so we can see this. I'm going to select the card and the writing, and we are going to align horizontally so it's in the center of the card. Now, if this was a card and I wanted to sign it, that's too big, isn't it? I'm just going to make it smaller, move it up a little so I have room to sign my name if I want. Let's go ahead and align center horizontally and attach. If you do not attach the writing to the card, it will not write on the cards. So we're going to bring this flower to the front, and that will be there. So this, oh, I forgot. This isn't attached. You do not want to attach this because this is going to cut out of paper, and then you're going to glue it on there. So I want this flower. I want to show you color sync. So I want this thank you to match this inside part of the flower, that little edge there. So we're going to go to color sync. We see all these colors. I want this thank you to match this card, so I'm going to drag it down there. You see these other ones, those are from the card already made. So when you, whoops, let's bring that to the front. Whoops. We're going to lose that if I bring that to the front. So when the card is closed, it's going to look like this. Bring that to the front. Because you're going to glue this on top of that. And then when you open the card, okay, let's move this out of the way. And I'm going to, you don't need to do this to actually cut the card, but I'm going to flip this and move this to the back. Then when you open the card, it's going to look like this. This you'll see through. And this will be the inside of the card. So, do we have any questions? I'm looking at the questions. Cindy Martin, you asked if you donated a Patreon, but you don't see it here. I'm not sure exactly what you're speaking of. If you can message me on Patreon or email me at melodylanedesigns@gmail.com, I will be happy to help you figure things out. Paige and Brian, she says she's weld challenged. I would love to help you know how to weld better. Thank you so much, Janet. Somebody says the screen went blurry. Is there anything that we missed because it went blurry? Lisa Robb asked, since I don't have access, can I actually use any flower image and my own uploaded images? You have to use, for this, I needed an image that has the outer layer like that and the solid layer so I could slice this image through it. So not any image will work, but there are a few options. And if you buy the image for 99 cents, it's yours forever. And you don't have to use this with a flower. You could use anything you want. I just really wanted to show you how to slice and weld and write and do all of that. Elise, that is a certain perk that you get. You have to pledge a certain amount for that. And Henna, I wish I could give these emojis to absolutely every subscriber on my channel, but YouTube is doing this, not me, where you can join my channel. I do get, I think, 60% of what you donate. I get like $3.50 to the channel. And that's how you get the emojis. You have to become a member of my channel. It's $4.99 on YouTube, not Patreon. I wish I could give it to everybody, but I don't have that option. Thank you, Joan. Ronnie, that's a great question. Does DS have a search for layered images? So let's go to images. We're going to go back to where the images start. And over here is a filter. And here at the bottom, multi-layer. So you're going to look for multi-layer images. And you could search in here for flower. Just because it's multi-layer does not mean it will work with this card. This one might work. You would just cut out these smaller holes on the front. These would not work. This one might work just the same as the one I'm going to try. That one looks like that would work too. That's from Bits and Pieces. So it really depends on the flower. These look like they would work. That looks like it would work. This one you could cut stripes on the front if you want. Okay, I'm going to just do these really fast. It should only take a second. Let's move this out of the way. Let's go to these. Okay, so this is more than 2 layers. I don't think hiding the layers work. We only have 2 here. Let me see. Oh, it does. I think that's newer because I used to not do that. So we hid 2 layers, so we only have 2 layers visible, and I'm going to slice it. You'd want to duplicate it first. So then you'd use this to slice on the front of the card, which might, I don't know, it might work, might be weird. I don't know. Let's try this one. This one is only 2 layers, just like the other one. And let's slice. This one would work just like the other one. It's from Bits and Pieces. So you'd slice with this piece. And this one, we can only have 2 images showing. Select it and slice. So then the part you'd slice out of the front of the card would be this, but this has extra pieces. So I would contour those out. I would contour out all of these. So I just have those. So then I would slice that out, and then this would be, I don't think that would be as pretty. And then this one you could do, this one's pretty. You would use this to slice out. And then, but remember, you would first duplicate and save the other pieces and size it first and all of that. I wouldn't Google layered images. No. If you're going to upload an image that you want to do that with, you want an SVG. Thank you, everyone. Lisa. Yeah, I would use blue mats for cardstock. I like the blue mats for almost everything. A shout out to a few of the people who support this channel on Patreon. I already did that. Sorry. Do we have any more questions? We have lots of answers. Everyone's saying use the blue mats. If you only have the green mat and you want to cut out cardstock, you need to condition it. To condition it means you're putting your hands on it and maybe taking off the sticky. You put your t-shirt on it, put your mat on your shirt, on your jeans, anything to maybe take away the sticky. If your mat becomes too unsticky, you can always clean it with a baby wipe, and what that does is it takes off any paper debris or any debris from your t-shirt or anything, and it will bring back the sticky by cleaning everything else off of it. Speed Racer, my son, is still here, but he's not here at the moment. He went down to visit my dad for his birthday, and then he did that yesterday, and then he's going to his cousins in South Florida today. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And if you guys want to practice with this, Lisa, you're looking for an image that's free. You can practice with this image. You don't have to pay for any images until you cut them out. So if you want to practice and see how it works to follow along, you can totally do that with these images, even if they're not free. Jolene says she saw a Cricut Mini this morning. Can you tell what it is? It is a discontinued Cricut machine that uses Cricut Craft Room only that is no longer available. So the Cricut Mini machines, if you see them for sale, do not buy them. They are obsolete. You can't use them anymore. There's nothing you can do to use them. They do not use standalone cartridges. They only used Cricut Craft Room. This is the Cricut Mini. Don't buy them. And whoever is selling them should be ashamed to sell something that no longer works. You can't, I don't even know why you'd sell it for parts. or buy it for parts. Nothing will make it work anymore. Don't buy a Cricut Mini. I'm reading your chat. I'm not just staring here at my computer. All right, thank you guys. I don't see any more questions. I will be back, during the week. I usually do videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, sometimes other days. Sometimes we go for a golf cart ride. I need to do that soon. And I will be here next Saturday at 11 a.m. If there is something you want me to teach, let me know. Sometimes I feel like I've taught everything. I don't think I have, but tell me what you want to learn. Jessica wants to know. At the show, I didn't buy anything specifically at the show. I did get my Easy Press 2 in the 9x9. So this one is the same size as the regular Easy Press. And it comes in a bag. And it comes with this little thing you can iron on and iron on the bag. I already have the large and the mini. And the large one came with a gold Cricut like this, but you won't get a gold one, you'll get a green one. Mine was a before production, complete production one. So it came with a gold one, and I almost said glued it. I ironed it onto my shirt, and I wore it at the event. So I may put this one on a shirt instead of the bag, may do the bag with something else, and wear a shirt with this. And if you went to the Cricut Mountain Make-A-Thon, you got 50% off almost everything except for machines. And you could buy it online. So I just went and I bought a lot of iron-on. And I bought 10 packs of chipboard at 50% off, plus my access discount. So that's what I bought. And had it shipped to my house. You will learn more about the Cricut figurines later. I did get each of those. I gave 2 of the Cricut figurines away in my Cricut Club in the Villages. I don't think the mini works with the scale. Not the mini. Ronnie, nobody has a video for the Grand Canyon on my channel because we didn't go. We were so exhausted, and we would have had to charge right before we went and go to the Grand Canyon and then charge again for another hour because we needed a full charge to get to the Grand Canyon. Sally, there will not be a new circle cartridge released. They're not doing it anymore. I'm as sad as you. But I did get a survey on Access with a higher discount. I don't know if they're doing that or not. I just got a survey, like probably lots of you did too. Ooh, Barb got the Cuddle Bug at 50% off. They have not announced that there will be a Make-A-Thon next year. Polly, that is so funny. She says, Miss Superklutz, you are so punny. She is punny. I do feel better now. I feel kind of relaxed today. Bobby, neither. No more circle. Oh, Mary Ann. Mary Ann just said, I asked about renewing my circle and was told I will be getting circle for another year without cost. I don't know anything about that. That would be amazing. Yeah, some of you got the survey too. In the survey said something about 20% discount with access. That would be amazing. I don't know if they're doing that. It was just a survey question. Doesn't mean they're doing it. I don't know any more than you guys do about that survey. You can't renew your circle. The links are not there to even buy the circle. Otherwise, I would have bought it already, so I had it for another year. I just want the discount. Mystery boxes will be back soon. Keisha, what kind of foiling do you want? There's lots of foiling, like the deco foil where you use a toner and things like that, or foiling vinyl, or there's also like embossing with foil and stuff. I've done videos on that, so I don't know what you want. Are cartridges for the original Cricut machine still available? Not unless you can buy them from somebody. All right, I think that's it. It's 2:03. I need to get ready for my Patreon Hangout video. For everybody that pledges $5 or more on Patreon can be in the video. So I messaged you on Patreon a link to be in the video, I think. Did that have a link to be in the video? I think it did. Let me see. Yes, it did. So that is the link to be in the video. If you are a Patreon or YouTube membership sponsor, you can watch and chat the video just kind of like you're doing here. And those posts are on my YouTube community and on Patreon. Laser printer is just the type of printer. You use any kind of paper. Deborah Curtis, I have a video on customizing DS images and projects. I did a live class on that already. It would be in my playlist of these live design space classes. Yeah, your original machine, you can use the cartridges you have, but other than that, it's kind of obsolete. Robin, I do all kinds of finished projects cut and printed already on videos. These live classes are for Design Space. Jessica says she needs a link with a charge to up my payment. All you have to do on Patreon is sign into Patreon, go to your pledges, and you can edit your pledge. Circle was where you get an exclusive cartridge and you get a discount. I don't know that answer, Kathy. Oh yeah, I do have my call-ins. You can call in. All right, guys, that's it. I will see some of you in just a few moments. So thank you for joining us. Come back next Saturday. Same time, same station. Love you guys. Bye.